Nigerian political space is now being redefined in ways and manner that before now were never thought imaginable. But then it is the reality of today, whether you're looking at it from the standpoint of the incumbent, which is the All Progressives Congress, or the lead opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, and indeed the coalition as we now know it. Or you want to talk about the umpire itself, the Independent National Electoral Commission. You just realize that there's one conversation after another, literally on a day-to-day basis. And one of those issues in front of us now is the internal crisis within the PDP vis-a-vis the convention that the party has scheduled, in which case the countdown has begun already. But then it will appear that a court order has brought some drastic change on that front for the People's Democratic Party. When you put all of this together, what does it mean for our polity? Because political scientists say that ideally, in a system like ours, while you have the incumbents doing their thing, you must have a virile, viable opposition that can bite. The question is, has the opposition in this country, especially given that the PDP has been saddled, for want of better words, with that responsibility the last 1 decade, has it been doing that quite frankly? Well, we'll find out and talk a little more about the state of Nigerian politics on the program this morning. I'm joined by a very high-ranking member of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, Chief Warmate, Daboikiabo. I'd like to say a big thank you to you for coming on the program today.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Great. Well, yesterday we had the screening of INEC chair nominee, and we understand he has now been confirmed by the Senate. What are your thoughts in that regard?
Well, there is nothing more we can say because the Constitution empowers the President to nominate.
Right.
We've not amended those sections. So the President is within his constitutional right to nominate, and he has nominated who he deemed fit can do the job. And the Senate has gone ahead to confirm it. So what we are hoping is that being that it's not just an academia, like others we've had.
Right.
He's a professor of law, he's an elect silk. So we are expecting that his professional conduct will reflect in his action as INEC chairman to build the confidence of Nigerians to come out and vote. He has an opportunity to write his name in gold in the history of this country. And I hope that he will take advantage of that privilege God has given him today to be appointed as the INEC chairman. Because we are expecting a lot from him, being that he's a lawyer, being that he's not just a lawyer, but a professor. It's not just a professor of law, but a learned Sikh. It's not just learned, is, a lecturer also, in the University of Jos. So we expect that it will bring some of this, professional exposure, interaction with other people, knowing the pulse of the countries, what the people want, and what they want for INEC to do in order for them to come out and vote. We expect that it should live up to our expectation by ensuring that, encourage the National Assembly to ensure that they enshrine in our Electoral Act compulsorily the electronic transmission of result, and also the beavers. Let everything has legal backing. So that will build the confidence of Nigeria, because Nigerians, the issue we have today is that, well, our vote counts, and Nigerians have been saying transmit result electronically. So if that is done, it will go a long way to encourage people to come out and vote. Otherwise, we'll still be experiencing the voter party we experienced in 2023.
Interesting. Yeah, yesterday there are people who watched that session and thought that the demeanor of Professor Amukito was impressive. His response to questions that were asked by senators and so on and so forth. But he also made a commitment saying that he would, amongst other things, go back and do an audit of some of the issues that were highlighted from 2023 general elections. And he said that cost will not be spared in terms of ensuring our elections are not only credible and free and fair, but they are also such that will strengthen the confidence of members of the public in the commission. What more should he be doing in that regard? Because people say it is he who wears the shoe that knows where it pinches. He's not in the commission yet. He also said that much yesterday, that he has not taken over yet. So there are things he naturally does not know as of now. We have seen INEC chairman talk about this during their confirmation hearing as well. But what will be the advantage that will work for him in this case?
In this case, I believe that he has a good legal background. And in most of our election, we end up in the courts.
Right.
And the courts decide against the people's will who is elected. And a judge that is fair will refer the politicians back to the field, which is what should be, and not the court 3-man panel or 5-man panel sitting to decide who should be as against the the people that elected them. So I think that his legal background will be an advantage, being the first legal luminary that is occupying that position, to ensure that he comes up with policy, administrative policy, and encourage the National Assembly to enact laws or enshrine laws in our electoral act that will ensure that after election we'll have minimal court cases, just like what we see in Ghana. So that is one of the things we work for is its advantage. Right. Because generally, I would say it doesn't have any advantage because people are not happy with the fact that the president, who is also, will be a candidate, is the one appointing him. So that one alone has, build up some kind of distrust in him. So he has to do a lot to build that confidence and say, no, not minding the fact that the president nominated me and the Senate confirmed me. This is an opportunity for me to write my name in gold, and I'll do whatever it takes to do the right thing. That is.
And you have already mentioned the Electoral Act 2022. That's what is in force as of today. Yes. However, there's a bill in front of senators now that seeks to amend that act and ultimately make it Electoral Act 2025. Again, the challenge came yesterday when senators, unanimously agreed that because it's a far-reaching bill, there's no need to be in a rush. This is not the appropriate time. Let's step down deliberations about that bill and reconvene to deliberate on the elements or the factors in the bill and things like that. What are your thoughts in that regard, number one? Number two is, what more should we bring into the Electoral Act now to move it from what we have in the current 2022 into 2025 for something more, a bit of reflective of our realities?
Presently, I would say that one, it should be the electronic transmission of result to be brought into the Electoral Act 2025 as we are expecting. Number two, the beavers should have a legal backing. In the world, it should be made or put in the Electoral Act. And there should be no clause that will give the Commission the power to use its discretion in using any other means outside the electronic transmission of result, and also in using the beavers to identify, accredit voters, right, not the manual accreditation in the event of the failure of the the beavers. Those things should be clear. It shouldn't be given an option for the Commission to use its discretion. And also, I believe that considering the cost implication, in 2023, we spent over 350-something billion to conduct the election for both the governorship and assembly, state assembly, and the National Assembly and the presidency. So I think we should have what I call one nation, one election in the Electoral Act. What do I mean by that? All the elections should be conducted in one day. The difference is to add the governors and assembly ballot papers. It's same logistic process. The TA to the immediate past national chairman said in one of his presentation after they left office that most likely in 2027, Nigeria is to spend a whopping over 800 billion naira to conduct the 20.
That's close to
a trillion.
Right.
It's crazy. It's unacceptable. But this same election can be conducted with far, even not up to the, what was spent in 2023. If all the elections will be conducted in one day, and it will reduce the stress people go through, because some people leave their station where they work or where they do and go to where they register to vote.
Right.
And when you get there, after maybe voting for the presidential election, you have to wait a week. But this one, when you are going, it will encourage voters to go down to vote. So they should see how they can ensure that all the elections from president to Senate to House of Rep to governor to National Assembly and House of our State Assembly should be conducted in one single day. It's the difference is just as I said. Now, if you're going to vote, they give you a ballot paper for president, for senators, for House of Rep. It's to add truth to it.
Right.
That is governor and State Assembly. That is all. Then another thing I expect or want the National Assembly to do, and I expect the present INEC chairman to do, is to ensure that INEC conduct local government election, because what we see at the local government level is coronation.
Courtesy of the governors.
Yes, the set. What they do is coronation. There is no election, and that's why you see the people at the grassroots don't feel the presence of governance. But if INEC conducts the local government elections in our country, just like what we experienced in 1999 and so on, you will see that parties that are not even having anybody at the national can win local government election. Yes, there are some states you see, just like what happened. Let me use Abga. Look, Abga has been winning. Abga have not won presidency. They have not won, but they have been controlling Anambra State. We have some local government that some states, maybe local party will be controlling 2 local government. If INEC is but today, what we have is, a governor appointing people. The next thing, the SEC comes and coronates local government chairmen, and will say they are elected. They are not.
Interesting. The National Assembly is now moving to propose that elections, especially the presidential election, should be held in November of 2026 as against first quarter of 2027. What's your reaction to that proposition?
Yes, to me is a good one. Why I say it's a good one is because we need to avoid the distortion of our democratic cycle.
Right.
Looking at now what led to all these things, we have off-cycle elections. But if the election is conducted by November, made it expressly clear and make it compulsory that on or before May 1st, all electoral matters should be concluded, from the first appeal to the appellate level should be concluded before the swearing in. So at that point, we don't distort our electoral cycle, because if we don't do that, the time will come, we will not have general election. General election, because half of the states we have staggered election to the point that we cannot call what we have a general election. So it is better to conduct it by that November. So November to April or first week of March, we are looking at all electoral matters addressed. Anybody that is sworn in, we know that is for the next 4 years, except there is a recall. That is a different case for State Assembly and National Assembly. But for the executive arm, we know that it is sorted out.
Right.
So it will not distort our democratic cycle, as I said.
Very, very brilliant way to put it. But let's go a bit partisan now, Chief. The ruling party, the APC, has been relentless in terms of quote-unquote harvesting some of the big wigs from your party and everywhere else, but particularly from the PDP, your own party, into its fold. We're seeing 3 governors move already, officially so.
Yeah.
Delta, Akwa Ibom, and the most recent being Enugu. Of course, the Bayelsa State Governor has formally resigned from your party, and there are speculations he's going to eventually pitch tent with the APC. A few more governors are also being spotlighted to be moving away from your party again to the APC. And every time I talk to PDP chieftains like yourself, they say the PDP is strong and intact, the PDP is not bothered. Is the People's Democratic Party not living in denial?
Well, let me start by saying that PDP is not living in self-denial, as some or APC members who want to put it. You see, the only issue we are having started, it has two phases. Now, the other one started with the ambition of the present governor of Bauchi State and the PDP Governors Forum chairman, who, because of his ambition, ignited a crisis in the NWC, took advantage of the present FCT Minister anger and ignited crisis in the NWC by calling for the chairman to leave. When that failed, they went to the point of calling for the national secretary to leave. That failed also, as you know. So that now created division. He welcomed a group that called themselves that the NWC of PDP in his government as without cautioning them that no, this is wrong, because of his ambition to be the vice presidential candidate to whoever emerges as a president. And that's why
in 2027.
Yes, in 2027. And that's why when he said that he has made sacrifice, to me, he has not made sacrifice enough. Because you cannot say you have made sacrifice because you didn't contest for the presidency. Make sacrifice to the root from the top. Because the presidency has been zoned to the south. You are now saying that you have sacrificed your ambition. No, your ambition is to be the vice president. As we speak today, you are depriving the northeast zone from having the national chairmanship because of your ambition. And you're also projecting someone from your state as the national organizing secretary. You are projecting someone from the northwest as national chairman, as against your zone having it because of your vice presidential ambition. And that has led to you dividing the NWC, which we are struggling to come out of to date. So that is one part of it. Then the second part of it is that PDP is purging itself. When you have overeaten, you are
constipated.
Yes, you are constipated. That is what PDP is going through today. And it is not that when you are constipating, at a point you get yourself. So right now, PDP is going through that. But I can assure you, within a short while, we'll get ourselves back. So that is the situation. And we are not perturbed about the decamping of some of the PDP bigwigs. Because let me tell you, see, in politics, moreover in Africa, bringing it down to Nigeria, our politicians decamp for three reasons. One, for political ambition, for political survival, and for political protection. And when they decamp based on that, they will not give the impression, masquerade it with, we want to connect with the national or center.
There's an internal crisis in our party.
No. Most of them, they want to connect with the national because they know some of them that are living like the Enugu state governor is part of the crisis. He, in fact, caused the crisis along with the Bauchi state governor. So he cannot claim that the party was in order or before they started because of their ambition. Inordinate ambition caused crisis in the party. So most of them, even when he was talking, said he wants to connect with the Center for Development. They are so greedy and shameless because they are not learning from the person they are going to meet. The president today was a fantastic opposition leader.
Against your
party? Yes, against our party. He will not trust them because of it that they are chicken-hearted to go to war with. They want to use it for news, but on ground, the people of this country, the people of Enugu State, the people of Bayelsa State, and the people of whichever state that the governors are decamping for are with the PDP. Go to the grassroots. talk with the people. You will hear it. Yesterday, a media personnel called me from Abuja here. He's from Enugu State. He told me how the assembly, some of their members, legislators are begging them that no, this one, they will still be doing what they are doing for them and so on and so forth. The people are not happy. So, most times, when you look at what they do, the president will not take them if he's going to a war, because we know they are chicken-hearted people. In the words of Professor Denta, he said they are godless, they are conscienceless, and they are greedy. Or there is a platform that has given you this opportunity. You are a second-time governor. What are you afraid of? Why are you decamping? You are a first-time governor. On same platform, you won election. Why not impact the lives of the people and let them vote you? So what they are telling us that they are not popular enough to contest for another election. They are afraid that their popularity will not deliver them.
I think, Chief, the concern comes from knowing that these governors not only decamp or defect individually, they move with what you politicians call political structures. In many of these cases, we've seen them move with a chunk of the members of House of Assembly, their aides, including commissioners and advisors, and what have you. Sometimes their entire base and all of that. And we all know that politics is about numbers. Will the PDP still be able to go to political war in 2027 with his limbs in place, with all of these happening?
See, let me say something. It is better for us to have even one faithful governor, few faithful National Assembly members, few faithful Assembly members, State Assembly members, and Nigerians, than having unfaithful governors that will betray the party at the war front. It's better, and that's why we are happy that these people are leaving. These chicken-hearted governors are leaving, and I'm assuring you, the president going to 2027 general election will not pick them because you know that they are chicken-hearted. They cannot withstand pressure. They cannot withstand the heat in the kitchen. So they will run away, even if he's there. Because he stood from 1999 till he became president. He stood as opposition leader. There was no time he joined PDP. So you look at them and laugh and use them to cash cruise. The presidency and APC is using them to cash cruise. That is it. Just to work on the psyche of Nigerians that the APC is doing very well. Meanwhile, we all know what we are seeing. According to this thing, he said the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So you see it practically. The 2027 election will be between Nigerians and the ruling party. It's as simple as ABC. It's not with a governor. Let me give you an example. A governor and his so-called structure. If you have, for example, my state, we have 3 million registered voters. And the governor and the structure leave. They are not up to 100,000. Just to exaggerate, they are not up to. That tells you the people decide, because the people are over 3 million that will vote.
But we also know that this is not just about the governors being members or being in your party, which has been the platform on which they came into office. But governors also play the role of funding political parties for the most part. You can't run away from that as well. Does that not, as it were, cut your funding very drastically for a party like PDP that has not been at the national leadership for about a decade?
You see, you're very right. The governors fund the party, and that's why people like us are moving for the party to be funded by the people. How do I mean funded by the people? Let us have, what is it? Was it Jim Nwobodo, one of the former national chairman of PDP, started e-registration of members, collection of dues of members. Let members pay dues so we don't depend on a governor. With the strength, membership strength, I'm telling you, by the time members pay dues, we will not look at any governor. To hell with them. We will not look at them. Because the people know that as they are contributing, the party will stand for them. So you will not look at one governor deciding the fate of a lot of people. That is what we see today.
But that sounds like something that would be very radical.
No, they introduced it. It was going. It was same governors that stood against it because they are afraid that the party is going to the people by so doing. They stopped it. They stopped it. if that is done, we will not need funding from any governor. If any governor wants to assist the party to be an addition, it must be the basis.
Not the primary source.
Not the primary source, because the primary source will be the people. Because even the governor will contribute. What did they use to remove Secondus as national chairman? That he did not pay dues.
Yes, right.
And in the constitution, it's enshrined that if you don't pay dues for 6 months, you are not this thing. You are suspended automatically. And if you don't pay up to 1 calendar year, that is 12 months, it is considered that you are no longer a member of the party.
Even without a formal notification.
Without a formal, is there in section 7 or so, subsection 3. It's there. So that's why when people are saying the World ESCO removed Secondus, no, they don't have that powers. They just went to court to enforce that section. And that is why we are saying that let there be electronic transmission of results. Also, PDP amending its constitution should also amend the fact that before we had 18 months when you join the party before you contest for election, 12 months before you give an appointment if you join the party. But for whatever reasons, in the wisdom of those that amended the constitution in 2017, they reduced it to 1 month. That led to some people that ought not to come back to the party, came back to the party and laid the foundation for the destruction of the party.
Okay, so
but we thank God for the present leadership under Ambassador Magu that is doing all within his power to make sure that PDP does not die as against the wishes of some persons in and outside the party.
I'd like to call him your friend for the purpose of this conversation we're having. Yes, Wike, Minister of the FCT. He had just said this week that, look, he'll be making known the party he belongs to very soon. Because before now, there has been a myriad of questions about, are you a member of the APC? Have you left the PDP? And the man, in fairness to him, has been very, very clear. He has said, look, I'm still a card member of the PDP, even though I'm serving my country on the platform of the APC, courtesy of the president. What difference would that make when Wike comes out, if he does come out, to announce the political party with which he's affiliated?
Well, I want to respond to that question by saying that let's wait till he makes that decision. By the time he makes that decision public, at that point we'll be able to give a proper assessment of that and give the proper answer to it. Because, let's not jump the gun. Now it will look as if jumping the gun, but let's wait to see what the statement will be like. At that point, we will now say, okay, we'll make proper assessment of that decision. Just like we are making of those that have decamped. We are not making of those that have not decamped, but those that have decamped, that look at it. Look at what it is. And the reasons they are giving are just flimsy. And we're able to assess it. So if is going to remain in the party or is going to leave, at that point we'll be able to decide or give proper evaluation or analysis of the decision.
That was quite a leading question, actually, because my point is going to say that now that we know Wike is going to come out to declare the party he belongs to, there are people who are insinuating that his objective from the word go has been to destroy the PDP from the inside. And now it will appear he has either accomplished that goal altogether or he's almost done accomplishing it. So it's now high time he came out to tell Nigerians that he's done and dusted and he's not a member of the APC. Of course, we're not jumping the gun because the man could come out tomorrow and still insists that he's still a member of the PDP. But as it stands right now, is it not clear that Wike has been bent on ensuring that the PDP is depleted from the inside?
No, I want to say that it is very clear at this point that the FCT minister's actions and inactions has demonstrated that he has the intention to deplete the party and to destroy it for whatever reasons we do not know. Because looking at what is happening today in PDP, he has been given ample opportunity. Yes, he has been a very strong member of the party that has contributed immensely, to the development of the party. But his actions recently, even when it was going on, Nigerians were saying expel him, suspend him, and so on. The party leadership gave him the opportunity to study, sometimes what you see from far is different from what is inside.
Right.
You can misinterpret people's action. So the party stood back and watched. What is it? And from the recent action or move to truncate the convention, forthcoming convention, a lot of people have concluded that at this point, there is no other interpretation to the fact that it's within the party to destroy the party. In other words, is the Trojan horse of PDP.
It's interesting because who would have thought by now, for those people who had said that it was former Vice President Atiku Abubakar that was the albatross of the PDP, now the man has left the PDP and the tension has not eased. So it just makes it clear that, like you have already mentioned, maybe Mr. Wike is more of the problem for the PDP than Mr. Atiku Abubakar. But let's not talk about where your party, before we take a break now, where your party, the PDP, is today. You and I talked here a few months ago about the possibility or otherwise of the PDP joining the coalition. And you made very clear that the leadership of the party was not thinking in that direction. But again, a lot has changed between the last time we talked about this and today. Even Ben Bruce, who has also been a senator on your platform, the PDP, has resigned. In fact, he has thrown his weight behind the policy direction of President Bola Tinubu.
He's a businessman. He's not a politician.
For whatever it is, I mean, politicians don't play with numbers. Let's now again revisit the issue of whether or not the PDP will likely, going into 2027 election, consider a merger of any kind.
Now, you see, people misinterpret and misunderstand the PDP. The PDP is not an elitist party. The PDP is the masses, is the people's party. That is what people
in practice.
In practice, in principle. But you have leaders that will lead the party. But it is the people's party. It is not elite's party. It is not, elite's club, so to speak. So we are not looking towards that direction. As I said some months ago, it's either collaboration, not coalition. The PDP is strong enough. The PDP is structured enough. The PDP is popular enough. The PDP has reached out enough. The PDP is rich enough to win any election from the bottom to the top. It's as simple as that. Not minding the decamping of some, in the words of Professor Denta, godless, conscienceless, and greedy politicians masquerading that it is to connect with the central. Meanwhile, it's for political ambition, political survival, and political protection.
Okay, let's take a quick break at this point, everyone. Just one more question. When we return from this break, before calling a wrap on this conversation, do stay with us. All right, Chief, let's wrap it up with 2027. We understand that a new INEC chairman will be inaugurated, hopefully in the next few days, by his principal, President Bola Tinubu. Of course, your party is also gearing up for quite a number of elections before 2027. We have Anambra, Osho, and Ekiti. What competitive advantage is the PDP bringing to these three different electoral outings?
The competitive advantage is that Nigerians knows under PDP they strive, lived better as compared to what we have today. Today, look at it is world rating that Nigerian life expectancy has dropped under the APC-led government to 54 years. 54, 53 life expectancy, which covers every aspect of human life. That's why I say it's Nigerians that will push them out. Nigerians will punish the APC-led government for inflicting pains, hunger, debt, insecurity, poor economy on them. That is the comparative advantage we are going into this election with. Nigerians will vote them out, will punish them with that. Today, fuel is 1,000 naira. Today, you cannot talk about renting a house in Abuja, 2-bedroom, with 500 or 700,000, you're talking about 3 million. Nigerians will punish them. Insecurity everywhere. Nigerians will vote them out. That is the comparative advantage we are coming with. It's not governors. The Labour Party have had any governorship, any government position when they got 6-point-something million. And it was assumed by some that they won the election, as against what INEC announced. So that is it. We have the structure. We have the people. That is the most important thing. Those that are what you see living are the leadership. But the followership are with the party. They are angry that you are not giving us cogent reason why you are going to a party that has impoverished us, that has, dealt with us. It's not like I listened to one young man, Odokoye, claiming that, and I felt bad that the media sometimes don't help matters. Putting that he was he has never been a former national secretary. From 2021 to date, Iron was remaining the national secretary. There was no point in time Odokoye became the national secretary of PDP. And when he was leaving the party, he was saying that the PDP has not done anything for the Southeast. It sounds so daft. Let me tell you why. It was since after independence.
That's insulting.
No, since after independence.
You have to take it back.
Wait. I'm coming. I want to see because I just decided to use that because since after
they say it's not well informed.
It's not. It's ignorant. It's very ignorant. Since after the civil war in this country, it was under PDP government they appointed a Southeasterner as the chief of army staff. All the 5 states, all the 5 states in the Southeast has produced Senate presidents under PDP. PDP has given the Southeast national chairman of the party. PDP has given the Southeast deputy speaker of the party. PDP has given them lucrative appointment as in ministers, agencies. One of the respected lady that's delivered Nigerians from of blessed memory, what is that name? Professor Dora Akuyele. So when somebody comes out to ooze out his ignorance, you quickly shut him up.
All right, I think there's a lot we need to talk about, but time has failed us already as it stands right now. But the next time you come here, hopefully things would have changed to the better, further for the PDP. I was going to ask you, if Mr. Wike continues to carry himself or carry on the way he has been doing the whole time, will he be suspended by the PDP? I'm sure that's you're not want to make that call.
No, definitely. So they want the party leadership.
Right, we'll make that decision. Yes. But I want to say a big thank you to you, Chief, for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you.
Today. We appreciate that. All right, that's where we're leaving it with this conversation, everyone. When we return, Priscilla Obasi and I will do stay with us.